Hi everybody, so today I'm sitting in the Grand 600 that we have here, and I thought we're going to have a little bit more of an in-depth detailed look at the boiler system that's in the vehicle today. And the reason for that is because yesterday a customer of ours had a bit of an issue, and we were discussing it with them, and basically I took the top of the seat off to have a look at the actual boiler itself to make sure we were giving the customer the right kind of information. And this isn't the type of stuff I'm not advising you all go home and start unscrewing panels and things like that, but I thought it's probably a good thing for you to actually see what's under these underneath the seat, to have a look at the boiler itself and show where the pipe work goes and things like that. I hope you find it interesting. It's certainly the type of thing that I find interesting. I mean, my general view is, there's lots of people that have motorhomes in general and caravans and things like that. You generally like to know how these things work and know where they're located, and how to get access to them as well. So let's get into it. So, what we're talking about? We're talking about the Truman Combi boiler. So this is located underneath the passenger seat, so it's underneath here. You've got your air vents which come out from the side here. And we'll show you those in a bit more detail. And you've got your vent on the outside of the vehicle, which is where the exhaust side of it goes. Now, as standard, it runs on gas. Obviously, you can have it as well. There's a version to have it with, so it runs off diesel. This particular one, this is the standard gas one, and it's located underneath here. You would have seen from videos in the past, we've got a little trap door here at the side, which gives you the option of going for the display on here, but everything is generally done through your up top display. But if you ever have any problems, like for example your gas supply runs out and things like that, your error codes etc. will all be actually on this display panel that's on here. And obviously you can get into there as well for things like frost protection etc. that's in there as well. So anyway, what we basically had to do yesterday was we wanted to take the top off that. So this seat itself actually is only stuck on with Velcro. So you literally just give this seat a bit of a pull. If I turn this over here, you'll see these seats here have got Velcro on the bottom, and they've got Velcro on the seats here as well. Now you notice this one's moved up a bit. I had to take this off yesterday to move the seat up because there's actually a hole just underneath it to remove. So where you can see that I've not taken them all out now to show you, but there's points all across here. So there's 3 screws along here, 3 screws here, 2 at the back section there, another one there, and 2 there, and 1 underneath here. Now you might find, for example, on yours, you pull this tape up and you might find, for example, that this tape's actually here, so you've not got it. So what I'm going to do with this one, once I've finished with it, I'm actually going to modify it ever so slightly and just cut out a bit of tape, so that for when the next customer, the person who owns this vehicle next, obviously they'll actually be able to see it there and make it a little bit easier for you to access that. Now please don't assume by this video you're going to go home, get some spanners out and have a look. We're just showing you this so you can see what's actually underneath the vehicle. So the type of screws that are held down in here are a torque screw, which is a T30, which is a tool similar to this. If we can get a real close shot of that at the end of it. Not the type of thing you normally have in a toolbox, but obviously I've got them because they're used extensively within Volkswagen. So as I said, you just take those off. There we go. So taking those off. Obviously there's lots of other screws, as I said, but I did all that yesterday, so I deliberately thought, you know what, we'll do a video on this, make it easier, so I left it. And that just comes off. It's only a bit of plywood, as you can see. There's not a lot to it, and you can just move that out of the way for a minute. And this is what your combi boiler actually looks like. It's a very simple, nice, compact, unique unit which is in here. So you've got your big exhaust pipe, so that obviously matches up and goes straight out to the outside of the vehicle, and then all your beige pipes like this here, for example, this is your air output. So as I said, you've got one down here, you can just see from on there. You've got one here, which is what this pipe here is for, and then just slightly at the back there you'll also see you've got another one. So you've got one at the side there, and you've got the one which is running through into the bathroom as well. And then you've also got one right at the very bottom, which is what's actually running for your air intake right from the back. If you're wondering what the red pull catch here is for, that's the release for the toilet latch on the outside of the vehicle. That's what it's in there for. And then obviously also in here as well is your water pipes. So as you can see, you've got your output that's in here. So here you've got a drain off which goes out to under the vehicle, and this is your hot water supply coming in. The cables very nicely are labelled, obviously with red for hot and blue for cold. That's here, so they're coming in and out from on here and round. So they're actually located and go off from the side here and come across, which if you remember on videos we've done before, which is why there is the raised bit further down in the vehicle, and that's the crossover section for the hot and cold water pipes as they cross over between left and right side of the vehicle as well. So obviously you've got cold water supply and hot water supply, cold water coming in, hot water going out, and obviously it stores a hot water. It's got its own tank that's in there as well, that keeps it in there. And then finally our frost protection, which we've done videos on before, but it's a lot easier to see it that's in here now because obviously we've not got the top of it open. So that's our frost protection. So this at the moment is closed because it's in line with the pipes that's here. If you were to open it, you would just twist it like that, and you can see now that's twisted, so it's popped up and the blue at the bottom's come out. So water at this point now will just flow straight out underneath the bottom of the vehicle, and that's your frost protection. Obviously you're normally only looking at it from the side panel there, and obviously to reset it is just the opposite of that. Twist it back round so it's back located, and just press the blue button at the bottom, and it's done. I mean, that's easy enough to do it from that side thing, but thought as we had the lid off here as well, we could show you that as well at the same time. So as I said, we've got our water supply in here as well, and then the final thing which comes into the boiler is the gas supply, which is just down here, which is the metal pipe at the bottom. Now, as I said, we obviously took this off yesterday to have a look, because it's the first time we've done it for a customer that was having a little bit of an issue, and the issue that the customer had was that there is a cutout on these as well for the hot water. If the hot water gets too hot, that's in there, and that involves actually up underneath this panel. I'll take this panel off. That's on here, and there's a little, just down in here, there's a little hole which you can put a pencil into, and that resets the hot water. Now obviously normal circumstances, that's exactly the type of thing you'd take your vehicle into your main dealer, we would take it off, which is pretty much what we were doing yesterday, to investigate it, to make sure that is where the units were, so we know where these things are and where they're located on that basis. So as you can tell, it's nice, it's neat, it's compact. There's no space in there for anything else. And obviously it's been very well designed, keeping everything nice and neat that's under there as well. So basically, to put it back together again as we found yesterday, really easy. Obviously that unit's going straight back in. Just literally just sits on top like that, and then you can put your screws back in to wherever they actually were. Once you put all your screws in, your seat cover just goes back in there and back down, and that's on top of the pads, and then that's it basically. So as I said, today's video is not about going back out there, getting your seat off, undoing all your bolts and having a look underneath it. Just as we were doing it yesterday, I thought it'd be nice to show you what's actually underneath there and show you bits of your vehicle that you're probably never ever going to see when you look at those as well. But I found it quite interesting yesterday looking at how the bits were, what was connected, where the pipes were going and things like that. So that's why we thought we would share that with you. Well, I hope you found today's video interesting. I certainly did when we got to have a look at the bits and pieces underneath the vehicle in here. As you know, I've got a sales background, but I really do have an interesting fascination of knowing how things work. If you've ever been on the site here as well, you've probably seen me. I'm always in the workshop, etc. as well. Usually being thrown out by the technicians telling me to go away because I'm asking questions and not letting them get on with their own work. But I found it interesting. I hope you found it interesting. If you have, give us a thumbs up, give us a like as always. If you don't subscribe, please subscribe. It really does help the channel out, and we'll see you again next time.